Testing, testing. Okay, looks like it's working. Perfect. Oh, this is broken. Okay. We'll worry about that another time, I suppose. There we go. Nice plant. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to be doing a get ready stream. I'll probably work on the newsletter as well. And yeah, just keep it chill. Keep it crazy. And if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. All right. So if you guys are new here or if you don't know me, I am Anne. I am you can also follow my other account. We're trying to grow that one as well. Can you see that? Oh, actually, you can follow that Anne account there. That is my other account. So this one's more newsy. The other one, I think I might do the same kind of stuff as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're trying to get the other account to 50 so I can live stream on my phone. So that should hopefully be good, because it is kind of annoying being forced to live stream on my laptop. I don't hate it. It's just I prefer to use my mobile phone. Especially when I want to film in different parts of the house as well, or if I want to do a live stream from events. Of course, like going live on my mobile is really important. So if you guys haven't followed my other account, please do. And I'll be able to probably live stream a little bit, maybe the crypto convention. I have to double check the rules for that one, what they allow. Being filmed and what they don't allow being filmed. Okie dokie. put my base down. So, the point of today's live stream is to just get a bit more familiar with how YouTube works because obviously I don't have a huge background in YouTube. So, being able to figure out like what topics work, what headings, what thumbnails work, how do I how do I reach an audience, how do I expand an audience, and all that. So, um, yeah, and I also like getting to know new people, and I like, answering questions that people have. So, at any point, if anyone has any questions they want to ask me specifically, otherwise, I'm happy to keep concentrating on my makeup or talking about random topics. In yesterday's stream, I talked a little bit about the outage, and the only update that we got today was that it was a scheduled upgrade that went wrong. And from my point of view, the fact that they didn't know what happened for a good 10 hours suggests that they're either lying or that they're so incompetent that they're not able to figure out that a schedule upgrade causes so much chaos. So I'm actually quite interested in finding out like what actually happened to cause such a big issue. So much like people like watching air crash investigations and the recent story of the submersible that basically imploded. A lot of engineering channels like to break it down, and a lot of people want to figure out like what specifically, like what caused the whole thing to implode. And for example, in that submersible, it was terrible engineering. So I'm really curious to know what caused like the Optus issue, the fiasco. Was that a malicious thing? Was it poor infrastructure? Was it not having enough experts, not enough oversight, not enough quality control? So yeah, I think I'll be doing a bit of a deep dive into that myself and reaching out and talking to as many people as I can. And I might report on it. If I know that they're probably going to remain quite tight-lipped, but they do have a lot of eyes on them, and there's probably a lot of people that will also be investigating what happened or are curious to know what happened. So yeah, that's something that I find really curious. And I heard a tech expert actually say recently that they actually would have rathered it come from a hack, because then that's a once-off, and then you can fix your security so it doesn't happen again. But because it is from a planned upgrade and a planned outage, I think that's quite funny that they didn't know for many hours and hours what caused it. So if they really did know, if it really was a planned upgrade, you would have thought that they would have said within the early hours of the morning, "Oh, sorry, this is a planned upgrade. We've made a big error. Let's sort this out. Let's fix this." But because it took 10 hours, and because there was basically no information from the CEO on what it was, I tend to not believe them. I really just don't think that it is what they're saying that it is. I think I made my eyebrow a little bit too thick, but that's okay. Okay, let's put some powder on. Ooh, just had some brownie. Yummy. Be right back, guys. Lovely. Okay. Hey, good to see you. I've just been so focused on my makeup. I'm like, should probably be talking to chat, but I was like, nah, I gotta focus on my makeup. Hey, so I did get banned for a week off TikTok in case y'all didn't know. They didn't explain why. They said it was hate speech when I was live for 2 minutes and then I got banned immediately for hate speech. I think if I'm honest, I honestly think that I just had maybe some random trolls like report me, and for some reason I couldn't appeal it. Well, I did appeal it, but like they said no. So I'm really not sure why I got banned. It was only for a week, so it's okay. But I miss live streaming, so I'm here on YouTube because I yeah, I miss live streaming, and I also really want to grow YouTube as well. I feel like the potential to grow on YouTube is like really, really good. That's okay. I wasn't actually planning on going live for a really long time today. I was just like, oh, well, I might as well, stream since I'm banned on TikTok, but my ban lifts tomorrow, so I might go back to TikTok, or I kind of want to do both live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So we'll see if we can do that. Is your work going okay today, or is it like a bit of a shit show? So yeah, I did a quick live stream yesterday, talking about the Optus hacks and about like the facts, what we know, and also my speculation and my opinion. So what we found out today, from the CEO, is that she said it was a scheduled upgrade that went wrong. And I just don't believe that because it took over 10 hours for the upgrade. Took over 10 hours for it to be fixed. And normally, schedule upgrades, when things go wrong, they're quite obvious and can be fixed quickly, or at least she could have just told the public, like, hey, I know you're really worried and things are going like very, very wrong. Understand that it is a scheduled upgrade and we have made a mistake, but we are working to fix it. Whereas yesterday she was like, "Oh, no, it's not a hack. It wasn't a data breach. We're very secure. Don't worry about it, guys." So I just feel like if it was an actual like a mistake on Optus's end, they would have known about it a lot sooner. Like, why hide that from the public for so long? I just sussy, 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 sussy bakas going on. Sussy baka situation. Going live on YouTube is a different kind of vibe. It's like I just really don't know if I have a preference because it's a lot easier to grow on TikTok, but because the audience have such a short an attention span, that you're not always gonna keep people around for very long on TikTok, whereas, like, it might be a little bit harder earlier on, like, trying to reach an audience, but once you reach an audience, I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, yeah, I remember this person. Oh, I like their videos. I'm gonna continue to watch them," whereas, like, yeah, because of all the, like, the battles, the short form content, the way that you're able to advertise yourself on someone else's stream, it's just like there's no attention economy there whatsoever. But yeah, so as a creator, it's like, do you put a lot of effort into YouTube, even though it's going to be a hard slog and it's going to take you a long, long, long time to grow? Or do you put a bunch of effort into TikTok where it's really fast to grow, but you may not have like long-term supporters? You know, if you get banned or stop streaming for a week, will those people like forget about you and not join your live streams again? It just feels it's difficult. It's difficult to know, but I think my strategy is that I want to grow both, and yeah, hopefully that becomes sustainable for me instead of like feeling like, oh, it's such a drain. I don't feel like it is a drain, but I do feel like because it's harder to grow on YouTube, it is a like it's a bit more effort for me to stay engaged on YouTube. But yeah, if something is easy, it's not worth doing. I'm always of the mindset that, you know, if you want to do something, it's always worth it, especially if it's hard. And I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid of putting the effort in, putting the hours in, dealing with trolls, dealing with the stress, the frustration, because I think it will be worth it in the end. And I was watching this motivational speaker and this author called Simon Sinek. I think that's how you say his name. And he said, I think he's the one that made "What's your why?" the famous, like that famous kind of phrase and idea. And he said, if the reason you're doing a job or the reason you're pursuing something is because you want, like, I don't know, lots of money, or if you because you want status, you're not going to feel fulfilled, and it's not really going to carry you through like the low periods or the difficult times. So he used this example that he knows people who have New York Times best-selling books, but they gamed the system and they went through a company that purchases the books on your behalf. And technically, yes, you can get a number one spot on the New York Times and be a bestseller. And if that's your goal, you want to be a number one seller, you can technically do that without you can do it with relatively little effort. You just need enough money and then you can do it. And yeah, from his research and his understanding, that if you want a status or you want a dollar amount, you can get there in many different ways. And a lot of the times you can get there by gaming the system or by like doing it in a cheap way. And from his research of, for example, Olympic athletes who got number one, they were depressed after they hit the number one because that's all they were aiming for. And now they don't have anything that they're aspiring to. They thought, like, once I hit number one, I will be really happy and I'm going to continue feeling that way for the rest of my life. I'll feel fulfilled. But actually, in reality, they had achieved the thing that they wanted their entire lives, or even if they didn't achieve it, their brain was like, okay, what next? Because brains are always wanting to strive for more. There's no point in people's lives where you just like achieve something and you're happy. You really need to work at that happiness and work at that mindset if you really want to be a kind of a more happy person, not just like um how do you say, like, not content and um not lazy, but like understand that you've come a long way and you still have a long way to go. So the favorite thing that I picked up on that interview is that he also interviewed a person who was a really great footballer and achieved a lot of Super Bowls and achieved a lot of accolades and was well loved and supported, but he didn't have depression. And Simon's just wondering, so you have someone who's like Michael Phelps, who's like the best swimmer in all of recorded history, and then you have this other person, I don't remember their name, at the Super Bowl, and they've reached their peak, but they're happy. Whereas Michael Phelps is depressed. What's the difference? And so they looked into the footballer's life, and his goal was to pursue football because it would give him a platform and more money to talk about disadvantaged children, like in the neighborhood he grew up in, and the fact that he wanted to donate more money to charity, he wanted to buy his mum a house, and he just saw that the football as a step in his grand plan. Whereas when your only goal is to achieve a certain accolade or a certain amount of, like, if we're talking about YouTube, like a certain amount of subscribers or a certain amount of money, if you achieve that goal, your brain will just keep looking for what's next, what's next, what's next. I'm still not happy. I'm still not fulfilled. So I really loved hearing that because it makes me realize, like, everyone says it's about the journey, not the destination. But when it's put to you in a way that's very, very real and based on other people and based on people who are more successful than I am and maybe will always be, they're no different, they're no more special, they're not better. It's about when you have a goal that is about giving back to people and a goal that isn't just selfish, but you might have components of selfishness to it. Um, when it is a bigger picture goal, then you're likely to have a more fulfilling life, fulfilled and happy life, which is ironic because you don't necessarily think like, "Oh, yeah, if if I'm rich, I'll be happier than someone who's rich, but also giving their money away," which is actually, like, not true. Like, a lot of people who are, like, super rich and happy are the ones that usually give most of their money away, to other people or charities and things like that. So, the way that I relate it to myself is that you can do YouTube and because you want to be popular, because you want to be rich, because you want to have adoring fans, or you can do YouTube because you want to educate people, or you want to be a philanthropist, you want to give back a lot of money to people. And I think choosing to actively want to do YouTube, like, it is a part of my job, but, I could just do a video here and there, a video once a week, once a day, and just like sit there and refresh and wonder why I don't have more views or why I'm not suddenly rich. Or I could see doing YouTube as a way to give back to people, to give them lots of information and to offer advice for people that need it and to give people financial information that maybe they've never received in their life. Or maybe I'm explaining things in a way that they actually understand, whereas, maybe they were taught by school or by family and they didn't quite understand it because why are there so many news channels? Why don't we just have one major news channel? Well, that's kind of like why there are so many successful YouTubers that say similar things, or big news YouTubers themselves. It's because the different voices connect with different people, and people that come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different genders. They all have a perspective, and they all talk about things in a way that will resonate with a certain group of people. And I always tell myself that, or when someone tells me, generally in like the TikTok streams, that they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go live. Like everyone keeps saying the same thing. I'm in this niche. I'm in that niche. My content's like this. My content's like that." And there's like millions of other people that make content like that. But as I keep saying, I'm like, well, how many people are artists in the world that still make money through commission? Because there's millions of different types of art styles and millions of different people that want different things. So maybe the type of content you're making isn't going to connect to like billions of people. But I would like to play the devil's advocate that how many people watch channels of things that they're not even interested in? They're not remotely like related to that topic, but they just like the host. Like, for example, I really like watching Scientology videos. I've never been in Scientology, I've never done anything with Scientology, but I really like learning about how people got out of Scientology. I like learning how they started to live life as an independent adult because they'd been sheltered for so long in this organization. I could say harsh things about Scientology, but because I'm quite new to this YouTube channel, I don't want to like get in trouble for saying words. So that's my little rant about why, like, even though I'm sure there's millions and millions of people that talk about tech, crypto, finance, I feel like every single person has their own perspective and their own opinion. So I always tell people to go for it. If they want to do YouTube, they should go for it. Oh, okay. Oh, I'd love to hear more about your opinion on the Optus outage. Spill the beans if you don't mind. How do I want to reply to you, but I don't know how to. I'm going to reply to you on my other channel. Look, I used to work in IT. I didn't work in an ISP in any kind of internet way, but we did have developments and we did need to do software upgrades, and I know how that process works. And I know that if something breaks, it's pretty obvious what has broken and how to fix it. There are usually people that are on call during the night of the upgrade, so that if there is a problem, a customer will just call up and they'll fix it immediately. So I know that when you scale up and you have a huge company like Optus, things are a lot more, say, nuanced and difficult if things break on a big scale. But I'm really of the mindset that if they broke it and it wasn't someone maliciously breaking it, why didn't they know sooner? And then if you want to go into like conspiracy territory, you could also be like, oh, maybe it was a plant from like, let's say Telstra that was working with them, or a former Telstra employee that's like, yeah, I can help you do this security or software or whatever upgrade it is. I've got the knowledge. I know what to do. Just listen to me. And then they've screwed it up in order to ruin Singtel. Singtel and Optus reputation even more. So that means that people will start looking at Telstra or Vodafone or whatever other network is available. All right. Just finish up the last steps of my makeup. Okay. All right, guys, just a heads up. I will be wrapping up my stream in a few minutes. I have some videos to film, and then I also have to do my newsletter. I would absolutely adore if you guys could sign up to my newsletter. It is free, it is weekly, and it's a little roundup of all the little news stories that I find most interesting, or the most scandalous, or a high profile case, or something that maybe just speaks to me, you know? And I think the difference between mine and other newsletters is that, like, we don't have a sponsor for the newsletter. So it's like literally just part of my job doing a newsletter. That's like a little roundup. And I just find other people that do newsletters, it's very clear that they're trying to get you to sign up for something. And I respect people who have like advertisers on their newsletters. Like, that may be a thing that I do in the future. I'm not sure. It's not really up to me. The advertising is kind of more up to my boss. But I guess my perspective is that we're truly, truly unbiased, guys. We just give you information because we like giving information. We're not making extra money from the Substack. And eventually we may make it like a paid subscription to the Substack. But for now, it's free, it's independent, there's no biases. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're just doing our best here on the internet and just trying to educate people in a world where like there's just a lot of people trying to take advantage of others. So yeah, I just want more and more people to subscribe, more and more people to know what we're about and find us and hear us and like our kind of our opinions and our stories and our reporting. And with that, guys, I'll just do the last touches of my makeup. Yeah, I've got some more work that I'm going to do today. If you haven't already subscribed to my TikTok, it is cryptomode.com, all written there. That's my TikTok name. And yeah, I'm excited to continue this journey, continue to grow and expand our reach. And I love teaching people about fintech, finance, and crypto. So take care, everyone. See ya.